Hello, 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 and welcome back to my most ill-conceived trek through the dungeon yet, the My Little Pony Friendship is Masochism run. Where last we left off, Twilight Sparkle died horribly, and quite abruptly, and mostly due to typos on my part in the end, which was unfortunate. I was feeling kind of embarrassed about that and kind of wanted to check to see just how bad it was. So I decided I would run another Centaur Wizard, just, as an offside. And as an aside, I want to share with you how Moo, the level 13 Centaur Wizard, is doing. I've got a 6-7 freezing trident. I've got reasonable aptitudes on spells, and fighting is doing okay, and poison. Mostly because I'm building towards being able to cast Poisonous Cloud at 21%. And I've got Summon Scorpions as a backup, and Conjure Flame, Magic Dart, and Mephitic Cloud have been my mainstays to clear out the lair all the way down to the 7th floor, where I began running into an ice dragon that basically threatened me more than I would have liked. And while I could have killed him, probably, it would have been a close call, so I figured I'd back out and do the Orcish Binds first. I found some reasonable equips, including this +4 Robe of the Night, which goes well with the +1 Robe of Fire Resist I found before. Also, this +2 Helmet of Levitation, Double Resist Fire, and Accuracy +3, which, quite frankly, was a lucky find. No two ways about it. Amulet of the Gourmand has done fantastically to help stave off the hunger costs of being a Centaur. Throw in a Ring of Poison Resistance found deep within the lair, and a Ring of Slaying found in the same area. And this is thus far proving to be quite the successful run. In other words, I am not of the opinion that the Centaur Wizard is an unviable or non-viable run. I just feel like doing it and then intentionally making sure to not focus any one skill too much and not being pure, conjure or whatever. That is not smart. It's time for a totally different pony. So today I was torn between whether I wanted to do Applejack or Rainbow Dash. I don't feel comfortable that I've worked out Rainbow Dash's flavor well enough yet, so I'm going to open with Fluttershy instead. Fluttershy, as you may recall, and if you don't, then go back and rewatch the introductory movie again, was going to be our Lord of all things nature, and in this case specifically, Summoner. -1 to summoning is not a big penalty, actually. I can probably work with this. Let's begin by making her a pure summoner and trickling on fighting just so that we have some survivability. But yeah, she's friend to all things animal, and that means summons, and Summon Ice Beast is in my kit? Fantastic. If I had Mephitic Cloud, I would feel very safe right now. Without that, I feel like it's going to be a uphill opening that gives way into a reasonable mid-game. And if I can get past both of those phases, then, well, quite frankly, Summoner is one of the strongest classes in 0.11, period. It's got one of the most survivable mechanics there is, namely, I'm over here while my friends beat things up for me. So, yeah, this run should end well. The only pony who I've given an item restriction to, I believe, is, a weapon restriction to, is the Berserker. So, totally gonna make use of whichever weapons I happen to have on hand. Okay, right off the bat, I'm hating this limitation on my mana, so I'm gonna actually focus spellcasting first to try and get this up to at least 7 mana, because, yeah, only having one creature out at a time is really restrictive. The other thing that I should emphasize is I only get paid half experience for enemies that I get help killing, which means that I really shouldn't be relying on my summons when it's not necessary. I should always have them available, but I should be the prime fighter in all situations as possible. It's just that bats are worth so little and they're so irritating, so, whatever. It's tempting to just use summons. They're faster, smoother. It's my main attack after all, and they're gonna eventually, very quickly actually, since I'm going pure summoner with her, since she's scared of ungodly everything. I mean, she is Fluttershy. Yeah. If I was even a marginally good voice voice imitator, I would totally just try and do like the Fluttershy voice while playing, but I would also feel a little bit gay. And that's not something I want to feel. Okay, let's see here. 2 spell levels can give me Call Imp, but I'm gonna hold off on that and pick up Call Canine Familiar instead, since I'm getting spell casting very slowly and I don't know how long it will be till... Are you following me? Item mimics can move now? Jesus, when did this happen? Well, he's inept, so he's just gonna die, but yeah, wow. Well, that sucks. I sincerely hope they don't, like, get power based on what they're emulating, or that could be devastating. Translucent rock wall. Okay, so all I need is, when I have digging or disintegration, I need to come back here, because there's at least a ring, which could be very useful. As a centaur, just to refresh your memories and reiterate stuff, my primary... Oh, all was intelligence for her. My primary means of getting nutritional value is... crap. Could be suicidal. Gee. This is either the scroll of Identify or the scroll of Enchant Armor or... Okay, I took a hunch on it being the Identify, and it was. Now this one is Scroll of Enchant Armor, so I just got lucky. I could have had both of those misidentified instead. Let's just remove the whip. If it was cursed and it was not glowing in the first place and it was on the first floor, it probably ain't that good. And glowing stuff can totally be bad as well. Okay, one thing I want to do right away is get Canine Familiars off of my macro letters. Because I have a macro that lets my backslash immediately launch a magic dart with ZA period. And since now I'm a summoner, I really want to actually be thinking about when I want to launch a summon. Because if I use a summon expecting it to be a magic dart, I'm going to be disappointed. Why did you ignore 2 perfectly good staircases? Oh, right, because you need to explore them first. So, let's see here. Knife the back to pieces and eat it. Ching. Running along. So I was wondering if anybody knew, from my understanding, how you kill an enemy, except perhaps with a disintegration attack, has no bearing on whether or not it leaves chunks. So I can dice it neatly with a knife, or smack it poorly with the club, and have the same chunking potential. But if that's not true, that would be worth knowing, so let me know. Because, as of now, I definitely am finding that my centaur eats an abnormally large amount of food, for all of the reasons I've already discussed in the previous video, including, of course, that he's not exactly adapted to be eating meat in the first place. I can end up eating 5 or 6 enemies per floor on average. Let's see. Still, the fact that I can eat enemies means that I don't have to focus spell casting the way that a Spriggan does. And that is actually a huge relief. Though I will be very happy to get an Amulet of the Gourmand at some point. Preferably sooner rather than later. I don't have Mephitic Cloud. I approached them fully expecting to Mephitic Cloud in 10 seconds. Let's get spellcasting up 1 more level and then drop it. Let's also go ahead and summon some allies. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's 1. That's 2. And they died instantly. So, the way you like using allies is as a cloud, when you can't get flanked. Or, sorry, as a cloud when you can flank your enemy. I have neither of those advantages in a hallway against an army of gnolls, many of whom have pikes, and oh my god, there's like 10 gnolls on this floor alone. Let's do Canine Familiars times 3, or just times 2. Send them in. I got a 2v1 situation here, so maybe we can get a takedown. Yep, that's 1 down. And that rat was mostly to absorb some of the rocks. I managed to get a single kill. take you upstairs with me and then run away from you. Get the start of a ally cloud going here. There we go. You're dead. I would have loved to turn around and hit him myself, but the fact that he dealt 50% of my life as damage meant I would be risking suicide. I would have done it on a non-serious run because the odds were very low that he could pull it off twice. But this is a serious run, the kind where I have to do my absolute... You're just one-shotting all my minions with rocks. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to pull the same trick of pulling him upstairs with me, if I can. He can deal more than half my life as damage, actually, so even more reason to be careful. Let's go ahead and bring an animal downstairs with me. Okay, he left. That sucks. Had a plan for him and everything. I'm pretty sure Elven Leather has no spellcasting penalty associated with it. It certainly doesn't seem to have negatively impacted me. I'm still waiting on the having more than 6 mana, hitting the 7 mana point before I turn off spellcasting, so I have to let it finish leveling. I've noticed that sometimes when you're at the 0.9, it gives you the benefit of a level up without the level up. I'm also seriously considering skipping this floor altogether right now, to be honest with you. There's a lot of gnolls on this floor, which is a negative. And these hallways are all very narrow, which is not conducive to being a summoner. I don't have the dig spell or any means of getting my animals more rapidly or more dangerously yet, and my animals aren't dangerous enough to win one-on-ones. You'll notice that constantly this message, summon small mammals you don't know that spell, is flashing up. That's because of my instinctively trying to fire a magic dart every time I come across an enemy with the slash command. So it's a good thing that I switched the letter for that macro. Or rather, for that spell. Okay, so how are we doing right now? So far, so good. Let's take a look at the inventory. Here's a quick command for you guys. Hit the ampersand key, which is Shift 7. When you're in the drop menu, hit it, and it will immediately select all your rotten chunks simultaneously, as well as any carcasses you're carrying, for dropping. I guess I can go back and pick up Call Imp. I'm probably going to have more spell levels by the time I'm ready to cast Ice Beast. Here it was open enough that I thought I could potentially... Oh, crap. Drinking whatever I have the most of, because I had quite a bit of it, so it was probably healing. Let's get an imp on the field. With any luck, I'll swap places and block him off for a turn or two. That is actually exactly what happened. That was perfect. Let's get some small guys in play. I really want a canine familiar, so let's get one of those too. Yeah, see, this hallway was sufficiently open that I could, in fact, get 2v1s and 2v2s going, which is the only way to make tiny little useless allies useful. Okay, here we've got a hallway with at least 2, but most likely 4 gnolls coming. Let's try and pull them out one at a time without getting bludgeoned to death on rocks. Actually, let's do something clever. Do I have an extra weapon? No, I don't. Okay, let's get an imp pre-summoned. One of the kinds who is likely to wield a weapon. Okay, you know what? You have a free spell. You just go on doing what you're doing, and I'll get another imp. Okay, you know, you have a free spell too. Just go nuts. Finish this fight for me. Okay, I'll finish it for me. No, you did. Good. And now we have more weapons, so... Okay, you know, normally I just get Crimson Imps, but this is like 5 white imps in a row when I actually want weapon wielders. But hey, I'm not jealous. 3 freeze rays is a lot more than 0, and that's a plus. Ow! You quit it? Okay, fine. More imps. And now I get the item users when I don't have items for them to use. Just dandy. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna make good on my own idea from earlier and just go down a floor. And take my chances on the slightly higher enemy level here. With the exception of a centaur or an orc priest in a narrow hallway, there isn't anything specific that I'm terrified of right now. That came out wrong. I didn't mean to imply that I'm strong enough to take on anything the dungeon can throw at me at this point. Just that, in terms of specific threats, there's nothing that I'm anticipating right now that I'm going to have to face because I went a floor too deep. Let's get some... Why do I keep doing that? These are backwards. There we go. The stronger spell should be on the bigger letter. I need to get out of here before I take lethal damage, so let's just make for the door. I'm still being attacked, and that means I have to actually cure out of it, unfortunately. I may have to cure out of this again if it bites me once more. Come on, seriously? There's no way I'm getting out of this one without a self-cure. No, my god, I got out without having to use my last cure. That's huge. Because using up your last known healing potion is kind of sort of terrifying. P is probably a heal potion as well, but it's not worth a check. Next time I'm in a need to check for poison scenario, I will. What I need to start doing is carrying around weapons with me. I can test this wand on him eventually. That way I can equip an army of imps in a nutshell. Or not in a nutshell, in a pinch. A, B, C, these are all weapons, that's good stuff. Drop U, drop W, start summoning some imps. They're not equipping themselves. Maybe my RC file needs to be edited for that, because I've switched over to the new crawl and forgot, maybe I never got around to fixing up my not RC file, my, you know what I'm talking about, my settings. Oh well, let's just beat this guy up then. Nausea is the most irritating freaking thing, man. Alright, we got more enemies than I am prepared for, so let's bring some canine familiars. Let's make sure we get a double cast and use it against the imp. Come on, we got 3 people attacking. How are you going to dodge all of us every single time? It's just not going to happen. Okay, corpse, and I'm just... Being a centaur, I'm just perpetually, like, hungry. Oh, wow. Invisibility, resist necrotic, evade +4, see invisible, stealth ++, just with an accuracy penalty. So there's no question we're going to wear it. The only thing is, this is going to destroy any potential I have for dealing significant damage. Because up till now, I've already been having a somewhat hard time hitting things. Now it just became harder. Explore, 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 explore. I believe my options were Fedus Mirage or Elivelin, so I'm going to go with Elivelin. In theory, so that I can pacify others. In practice, so that I, you know, can... Because I don't want to play Fedus right now, I don't know how to work him. I don't actually know how Fedus works, since I have literally, not metaphorically, literally never run Fedus Mirage, or, sorry, Elivelin before, for any character ever. So, quick look up, Elivelin crawl. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Casting necromancy or unholy, vampirism, draining, killing a holy being. Wait, so I'm just supposed to let angels beat me up? The fuck? Attacking a neutral being, no big deal. Letting your friends kill a holy being. Killing your friends. Letting your friends die. I'm a summoner. This right here is probably going to be a game breaker. I don't know that I can actually survive that way. Killing living monsters, cannibalism, drinking a potion of blood, casting necromantation, inactivity... Forgive your inadvertent reading of unknown scroll of torment. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's actually possible to play a summoner and not have your allies get hurt. Though, let's go ahead and figure out if that's exactly how it's working or not. Oh, I can't cast Call Imp? Shit, that's not what I meant to do. I wanted to read about Call Imp, I didn't want to cast it. You know what? Screw Livelin, I'm just leaving this faith. Can worry about pacifying creatures later. Did I just... I think I just cast it 3 more times. Oh, because I've been booted from the religion. Okay. Well, some problems solve themselves, right? With any luck, I'm not under divine wrath. I guess I'll hold out for Featherless Mirage, who I've never played as either, and go with the nature side of Fluttershy over the pacifying animals side of Fluttershy, and we'll just use the fact that I'm currently the controller of animals as my excuse for how I am pacifying them. I have to beat this guy up right now before I have to, yeah, because if my summons began to disappear, that fight was only going to get harder. It wasn't going to get any easier. And with my summons, I stood a chance since we had him completely surrounded. I was willing to just stand there and heal whatever he was going to do to me, if necessary. I wonder, though, by casting Summon Imp, because it's on my... Honestly, the only reason I'm casting Summon Imp as much as I am is because it's right underneath my finger. It's my letter A spell currently. But it's also possibly the best spell for me to be spam casting right now. Technically, imps aren't so much creatures, but they're 2 mana, which is great. That means they're cheap. They easily reposition themselves to get surrounds, unlike, you know, slower creatures. Oh yeah, this is the motherlode in terms of EXP. If I can survive. That's a big if, but we'll see. Do I have any good wands for this, by any chance? Okay, that was a good wand, but not really, and definitely not the way that I used it. But this is a simple enough fight that I can probably just even tab fight, yeah, and win it. As you saw there. But yeah, imps are great because they give you a variety of attacks between just strong imps that have good bludgeons, the ice imp, the immune / seriously resistant to fire imp, the animate dead imp. I mean, you've got a variety of approaches, and they also are cheap, and they gain position, and when you have them programmed right, they know how to pick up weapons to be used effectively. Let's go ahead and pull this guy upstairs. And I've got to start remembering to bring summons to check staircases, because we didn't have to go back upstairs if I had done that. Let's go ahead and bring you guys downstairs with me, please. Face to face with an orc, run the other direction. And notice that I'm literally going to tell them to stop attacking 3 times in a row. I want them all here, and now swarm his ass. Before he can do anything about it, he's going to be beat up by all of us. That was effective. The elven leather armor I'm wearing is not any enchant. I'd rather have an enchantment of some kind, and so see all those chunks? 1 ampersand, they all get dropped. But yeah, I think this is good enough. Let's go ahead and quaff some of this stuff, just to see what it is. Let's kill some things. Duvessa and Doan are actually going to be very difficult to deal with right now, because one of them is a berserker and the other one is a mage. And I have no disables that I can just conveniently destroy them with. Let's go back upstairs to the floor that I semi-skipped, this one, and go searching for packs of gnolls. This is the other problem with playing the centaur who's got the hunger issue, is, well, you can't just explore as much as I'm used to. You really have to be constantly feeding your food clock. winding your food clock, I guess would be a more accurate term. Oh, please let it still be there. Yes, it's still there. Perfect. We're so going into the sewers. Let's just get a few imps out on the field to quickly make short work of these guys. Is there an enemy here that I'm not noticing? Because I don't see an enemy. Probably off to the distance. Oh, one of you guys isn't a friend. Well, die, dick. And again, I just summoning enough of my allied imps. Fluttershy has an imp for all occasions, and ice just works really well against fiery imps. I'm near starving and nauseated, so let's see if we can't wait one of those two out at least. Okay, now I actually am starving. Come on. No, fine. I'm just gonna risk starving to death. This nausea has to go away soon. Eat an apple. God damn it. Bread ration. Finally. Already hungry again. I just ate a fucking bread ration. I'm telling you, hunger is just... Used to playing easier races, I guess. Okay, whatever. No problem. Moving on. I'm still wielding a basic, unenchanted, dumb dagger. So switching up for an elven short sword makes sense since I don't have any disables, so I'm not getting a stabbing bonus to begin with. Do I have the ability to levitate by any means? No, I do not. Okay. And with a 71% failure rate, it's probably not even worth attempting to go invisible. I am definitely going to hide in a corner so that I can die in a corner. Or, you know, concentrate my fire more easily. Close the door, start the summoning process, and then start beating up whoever shows his face. Okay, that's you guys, that's the quaff test. So, I've heard different theories on how you, how to play the ID game, to identify your scrolls and potions, and, you know, I've heard people say it's a retarded or really bad idea. I guess retarded is too strong a word. It's a really bad idea to quaff test potions. Me, I say it's just simpler. It makes sense. There's one really bad potion to accidentally drink, and that's, well, two. There's the strong poison, which you're going to have to take a long time to get through to, which can potentially kill you if your health is low. And, there's the mutation potion, which can give you long-lasting scars for your mistake. See, one bout of nausea brought me all the way to starving. And all of the chunks that I was waiting to eat became rotten in the meantime, forcing me to use it as a permanent ration. I don't understand why people think that nausea is an improvement over the sick mechanic, but whatever. Let's go ahead and stab you too. Eat one of you. Kill that, kill that. And at this point I'm becoming more and more reliant on my summons. I shouldn't. I should really at least try to open these fights on my own, since otherwise I am scuttling, significantly reducing the amount of experience that I gain, which is already at a premium. And I'm hungry again. Alright, there we go. That's a fair number. Imps. Oh, it was a tab fight with nothing here that really says, oh my god, great item, please pick me up and use me forever. The sewer is cleared. Fluttershy in a sewer making friends with rats. There's an image. You will love me. I've had to go through how many bread rations now? 3 bread rations just to deal with 3 times being nauseated. It's probably because I'm taking a significant hunger cost casting this spell. Should probably focus spell casting for a while to assuage that. Meanwhile, how's Summon Ice Beast looking? Still not even close to reliable or practicable. Anyway, that's all my time for now. So, Fluttershy is still alive after her first session. Let's see how she does when she learns to be friends with more than just rats, imps, and dogs. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time.